said I was going to stay off YouTube. I was going to stream more, but there was something that really kind of irked me just in general, but not so much that it drew me back, but something that I just wanted to go over. And there are a few things of that nature that I felt like after playing this game for as long as I have, and after being in into Call of Duty as long as I have, that there was some information that if I could share the information, and if there was the lack of that information on the internet, that I should share it. And it spawned on me a couple days ago. I was playing. When was it? When was it? Was it? I was playing a ranked match, and it was when the division switched over. So if you haven't noticed, the new divisions for World War II have um, very much changed the way that people have played. And I was like, okay, well, create a classes. So we have classes that everyone uses, and I was looking to see if there were any tips or anything that we could come up with to help. And I couldn't find anything. Nothing at all. There was nothing on YouTube that I could find that would, uh, at the time at least, give me an edge or at least a tip to where things were going in the community besides, frying myself watching pros play over and over again, trying to figure out what they were using. So, with that in mind, I figured, you know what, there are a lot of players that I see that are online that are playing in ranked play or competitive game types that just don't they haven't grasped the concept for a few ideas or a few things that they may need that are just simple ideas but that would help their gameplay so much better. And one of them, Brandon Swims, one of the guys that I play with, he's been one of them. I've been helping him out, but it's something that shouldn't just be shared with just a few of us, but everybody. And we'll see how this first video goes. If it does pretty well, then I might just make this a series and might just do it, completely and go over and over and over everything that people might have questions for. If not, then I might just, let it run its course and do its thing. Um, but this is pretty much kind of like an intro video to it, and just to go over a few basics. Now, when it comes to ranked play, it is played a whole lot differently than it is normal public matches. That being the sense that there are three specific game types you're going to play. Hardpoint, which is the one that you see me on now, where there's one specific point that you hop into. You get points for being in there. People can contest it if they're in it. Blah blah blah. That stuff we'll go over later if need be. Um, there's Search and Destroy, which at least anybody who's played Call of Duty knows what Search and Destroy is. Offense, defense. If you die, you're out for the round. You try to plant the bomb or defuse it. You know, and then capture the flag, which pretty much covers itself. However, there are a few steps that I want to go through now that are just really my top five things that you really need if you're going to jump into a ranked match and play. Because let's be honest, you don't want to be that one person that's holding everyone else back. You don't want to be that person that is in a lobby, you're playing with a few other people, and you're the one that's on the bottom of the leaderboard, and you see their ranks dropping. So, with that being said, there's a few things that I want to cover. We can go over some of the things. Leave it in the comments if there's anything specific you want me to go over, or anything specific that you would like me to touch on, or anything that I miss in this video. So, number one, um, just having a general game sense. And that's a very broad spectrum. But in the sense of the game, you need to be able to know what you're doing. For instance, I'm running around this map and I know exactly where I am at all times. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know what's coming up ahead. I know if I come up here, there's a wall there. I know if I look down to my right, there's some barrels. And just this knowledge of the game alone will give you an upper edge on a lot of the people, especially when you're doing placements. Because when you first start out, you don't start out at bronze or whatever. You have 10 games that you play to get yourself placed. And most of the time, you're going to be playing against newer players. So having that little bit of an upper edge, knowing what map you're on, knowing where you're at, knowing how to play the game. I mean, I've seen people that have played in ranked that literally play like this. They will run up to this, they will go to cover, they'll look, then they'll just sprint over here, go to cover. Like they play like bots. And that's fine. I mean, there's going to be trolls, but in a sense of ranked play, you're playing to get a specific medal. You're playing to have that uh you know that I'm blanking on the word, but your the representation, that was the word I was looking for. You're looking for that. So in the sense that you don't want to come in and troll. You want to be able to move fluidly like I am. You want to be able to, you know, move around the map and be able to aim at spots that you know are there. Like I know there's a window there. I know that I come around and I know exactly that I can pre-aim this doorway. I know that there's a barrel there. I know there's a room there. I know when I come over here there's a balcony that I can look at. Um, I know that if I come around this corner that there's barrels there that people normally sit on, and I know that there's a corner here that people sit too. Just having that game sense of knowing where you're at, knowing how to play the game, knowing you have, your thumbs work, you can move around, you can, uh, you know, you've played Call of Duty, and you know how to play the game. Number two uh, is going to be learning the maps. This one is can be a little difficult, especially for those that don't have the greatest of memory, or for those who don't have that long-term memory. Like I said, I can run around this map and I know exactly where I am at all times, but I've gotten to the point where I know, where my enemy is going to be at all times as well, and it helps me prepare. You don't have to go to that extent when you first start out. When you're going through bronze, silver, and gold, really, I mean, gold kind of, but when you're going through like bronze and silvers, just knowing the map that you're on can help you so much because certain maps have certain game types. This map Gibraltar, you're only going to play on hardpoint. So if you want to practice with friends, if you want to warm up, if you want to practice with bots to warm up, you know the game type that you're going to be playing on. You know how you're going to be attacking this map. Um, but learning the maps also means learning uh, its objectives and where they are. Learning landmarks and learning, what's easily identifiable to talk to your teammates about. As an example, when you come through here, the first thing that you're going to notice, this will not be here in ranked play. This is a turret. You can hop on it, you can do whatever, but in ranked play, that's not there. Um, and that's a very identifiable window. It's you know window turret, turret window. Someone goes in that window, you can call it out. But just as a quick one, this is middle. Easy. Middle circle, whatever you want to call it. Another one that's pretty easy is all up there. It's just called bricks, obviously, because this is probably the only spot in the map that's really got bricks on it. Besides maybe that, but no one's ever really back there. And just having that small bit of knowledge will help you out so much because not only will you calling out to other teammates help, so if someone comes through here, you put a couple shots into them and say you don't kill them, but then you get taken down from a guy that came from the bridge, you can call out, this is a guy bricks, he's weak. Then your teammate can come up here, take him out, and you got your positioning. But like I said before, it also means learning game types. Like this hardpoint, you've probably noticed for the entirety of this video that the hardpoint has been rotating. It's been rotating on a specific set, and it does that on purpose. It keeps the map flowing, it keeps the game type going, but learning these rotations will definitely help you. So for instance, the first rotation is here. So it's going to go from middle here, and because I already know this, I know that it's going to move from here, and as soon as the timer on the left-hand side under the map goes, it's moving to here. So knowing that, you can set yourself up for success by either, getting closer to it, making sure that the enemy isn't there, getting to it early. And these are some, and I'm going to try not to use more, I guess, expert level terminology until we get to that point. But one terminology that I want to use right now is called rotating. Rotation. The hard points are on a rotation, they're constantly moving. So that means you're constantly rotating. One term that you'll hear a lot if you're playing ranked and you get teammates that talk is we need to rotate. So if you're here and the timer's ticking down, you'll quickly move over to here to get prepared. Now, right now, this one's at 10 seconds. So right now I would say, all right, team, we need to rotate. So I would head over here early. You may even give up some points, but you're going to run over here because the next hard point's going to come into this little area here as soon as the timer ends, and I'm ready. Now, normally I would probably hop into the point, get set up, try to look for where people are, but I know where it's going before anyone else. So if I'm in a lobby or if I'm, getting if I'm getting to that point where, maybe I'm in a match with a bunch of excuse me, if I'm in a match with a bunch of people that are in placements, or if I'm in a match with people who are maybe not as diverse, but you're trying to get ranked up and you're trying to get a high placement early, so that way you don't have to deal with some of the small, everyone has that elo hell that everyone talks about, then you can do that. So it comes over there and say, you're about to win, but you're super tied. That's going there. We need to rotate 5 seconds, so on. You can get to here before anyone else because the next one's going to be here. And then you can see where everyone's coming from. If they come from this side, you can kind of sit up here. If they're coming from this side, you can look over. But you can rotate from any other area and get to that point before anybody else, and it's really going to help your game out a lot. From here, it will rotate back to the middle, and then it'll start the cycle all over again. So learning the maps is overly going to help you in the long run, especially if you can retain that information, share it with others, because if you're in a game with somebody who may not know the rotations or may not know where these are going, or for instance, they play an S&D, but it's their first time playing S&D on this game, they're playing ranked, you tell them where the bomb sites are at, you tell them where the flags are at, you can tell them, hey, the hard points are going to be over here next, come with me. You can help people out, and it helps your team chemistry, and it helps things not be so toxic, because we know that that can happen. Right. Right. So as the map rotates back to middle, uh, the second thing, or the third thing, I guess, would be something that I kind of already went over, but this kind of touches a little bit further on that, is learning the game types. Now, I listed the three that you're going to play in ranked all the time. It's going to be hardpoint, which is this. You'll be doing search and destroy, which is always commonly referred to as S&D, which is the whole, two teams, bomb site, the basics. I'm not going to bore you with that again. Or capture the flag is the third type. Now, the biggest question that's going to be asked is, okay, well, why do I need to bother? Why do I need to know that these are the game types? I'm going to play them everyone. I'm going to play them at least once. I don't have to worry about it. They're going to be there. They're always going to be there. Why should I know them? And the I guess the most simple answer is that preparation. You're only as good as how much you're going to prepare. Practice makes perfect, but perfect practice actually makes perfect. So if you're going into games, if you're playing, say you want to warm up and you want to say you want to warm up, but you want to practice like respawns. You think you're pretty good at S&D, but you really just want to work on your hard point and playing. You can hop on bots and pop on a hard point. Learn the map rotations, go around, kill things, do whatever. Because the veteran bots on this game are actually pretty decent, surprisingly, especially on this map. Uh, but learning the game types also will help you prepare for your classes. Now, classes is another thing, and that's going to be number 4. Create a class. Now, the created classes are a lot different in this game. They got the divisions, you got your ribbons, the basic trainings. I just call them ribbons because why not? But that's one thing that's really going to be, uh, I wouldn't really say detrimental if you don't do it, but it's one thing that will help you out in the long run. For example, my class is here. This is just my YouTube class, just for giggles, because I would never really use any of this besides the point, which for some reason I don't have a sniper rifle in this class. even though I should. Interesting. Anyways, um, but these are kind of my classes here. Um, I normally run an assault rifle, a couple assault rifle classes. So I have a bar, an STG. There's the two main assault rifles you'll see, and then PPSH classes. But hardpoint purposes, normally you would run something that looks like this. Armored has its specialties without getting naded, without getting stunned, stuff like that. Um, Airborne has its specialties too, being able to run and sprint everywhere. So classes are really going to help you because if you're prepared and you have classes set up, especially in your placement matches, you're going to be a step ahead of everybody else who didn't do that. Because while they're running around with basic weapons, they'll be using these standard issued, and most of these have stuff that's banned because a lot of stuff in competitive will not work, or stuff that's in public matches and stuff that's in your casual matches will not work in competitive. And that's one thing that is a huge, huge deal. If you're you know, if you have a favorite gun, make sure that it's going to work in ranked because if you go into ranked and you start using your classes, they're going to get banned and you're not going to get to use them while you're in the game. So make sure that you're creating classes that are uh, you have equipment that's allowed in ranked play that you're comfortable with. Go into Call of Duty has a shooting range. Go shoot the stuff. Go into a map like this, see how it feels. Get your sensitivity right, how that feels, your vertical and horizontal. Uh, you know, Run around the map, get your game sense down too, make sure that your playability is there, and just shoot the gun, see how it feels. I have my guns that I use, and the pros have the guns that they use, but they may not be what makes you comfortable. And if what makes you comfortable also makes you have success, then by all means use that. If you can run up here and someone's on over here on like a head glitch there, and you can come over here and pop a few shots into them and kill them, by all means use that. Um, and the last thing that I want to touch on, which would be number five, is just teamwork. And teamwork can be a very broad and very vague idea, but it's something that gathers into not so much the fact that you're not always going to have teamwork, and it's true. I mean, I would say you know for for a generation where we have every Xbox comes with a headset, every single one of them. Every Xbox comes with a headset. Every headset comes with a microphone. Every Xbox comes with a controller with a port for your microphone and an adapter if you need it. So in reality, there's legitimately no excuse to not talk. Now, if you hop into a game and no one else is talking, then by all means, don't feel obligated to do it yourself because chances are they're not listening to you anyways. And if they're in a party, they're definitely not listening to you. But if you're in a game and everyone else is talking in game chat, and I mean, if you're having a bad day, by all means, don't you know there's making sure that you're talking and there's toxicity. But if you're having fun, if you're having a good time, and you want to communicate and you want to learn things from other people, and you want to talk, and the biggest thing about ranked play is playing like the pros without playing like the pros. So if you want to have those communications and talk to people, because I know every single one of you that's either watched this video or has played ranked play knows you can get loud when you're playing these games, and it feels so awesome when you're talking with three other players, because the biggest thing about ranked is that it's not 6v6, it's 4v4. So there's not as many players, so your actions matter. So when there's an SND and it's 1v4, that's doable. There's not those two extra people. And when you got the chance to then take that 1v4 and you kill a couple people, kill another person, and then it's a 1v1 and you spin around a corner, jump, drill somebody off at a head glitch, and then defuse the bomb, and you guys win the game, and everyone yells "Let's go" because it's the general overall number one phrase used in pro gaming. It's a great feeling, and it gets your heart pumping, and it gets your adrenaline going, and it makes you want to play more. After that game, you queue up again because it's, final round, search and destroy. You clutch up and you guys win. It makes you want to play again and continue doing it. And the only way that can happen is with teamwork. If you're playing alone and you're playing solo, you can only go so far. And I've always prided myself with no matter what I'm doing is getting as far as I can solo, but you'll always need somebody. Because in a game like this where it's, 4v4, you can carry so much, but after a while, because there is host, because it's online, you'll get hosted and you can't carry. You need that second teammate to do something. I've started playing with Brandon Swims a lot, mainly because I need that extra person. Me and him enjoy playing together. We enjoy communicating. We enjoy calling out, doing whatever. And it's just one of those things that, um, it's just one of those things that we enjoy playing together. We enjoy having that moment, those moments, and enjoy um, putting together, you know, great competitive matches. And having that teamwork, having the call outs, talking to each other, getting strategies together, playing together, having four players that, I'll give an example after this, after my little rant here, but, having that camaraderie can really help you, and you'll see your rank improve a lot just by communicating and just by calling out, playing together, getting strategies, having a leader, having those who can, and even getting your own chance to be a leader. It helps. A big examples on this map, right now, like I said, the rotation, which is a word I used earlier, this is here, but if the other team is already on the other point and you're all dying, if, you can communicate with each other, two people go through the middle, in that middle building that I always come through, one person can go low, back by that window. I'm going to go back around. You sneak back this way, everyone else is in their little gunfights trying to stay alive. You sneak back through here, no one sees you. No one sees you. You sneak back through here. There's a guy up on this ledge watching over everything. You come up, you pick him off. Your team moves in. They kill a couple people. You pick off the last guy, and you get the hard point. And just that little small victory alone can get you a win. And it's one of the great things about ranked play, other than public play. Public play really can be just a toxic environment full of people who just don't care. And to be honest, that's what it's for. Ranked play is for people who actually care about their rank, they care about what they're doing, and they care about, um, how they go about things. So those are my five things, and this video went about as long as I thought it would, about 20 minutes. Um, but with that being said, hopefully this video helped out a few of you that just wanted to know a couple basic things, or if you're getting into the ranked environment. This necessarily doesn't even have to revolve around World War II. Any gameplay, like if you're going back and playing Black Ops 2 League play, or if you're going into Ghosts and playing the Clan v Clan, or if you're going into AW and playing their ranked system, Black Ops 3 and their ranked system, IW and their ranked system, all of them, these five things specifically tailor to every single one of them. There's not one specific game that, nope, this one doesn't work here because, or nope, this one doesn't work here because. All of these tips go for every single one of those games, and they could definitely help. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If any of this helped you, or anything that I mentioned either gives you that small edge, or gives you a little bit of help, click the like button. If there's anything that I missed or you want me to cover in another video, go ahead and leave it in the comments, or follow me on Twitter. You can send me a tweet, or come by a stream sometime. Check it out. Um, Other than that, I think that will do it for episode 1. I'm going to release a glide bomb. Say adios.